everybody? How you doing? This is the host of the Buzzing with Marlo podcast. I am yours truly, Warren Marlo. And guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay in contact with all our platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Snapchat, all that. Tell them, look, we are there. Let's say it again. We are there. That's right, guys. And you can find us on all audio platforms, just to name a few: Google Podcasts, Podbean, Podchaser, Podvine, Good Pods, and all Apple products, and including Pandora. That's right, guys. And of course, on Spotify. So, yes. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for joining us. This is going to be an awesome chat. We got the boys in the back. I got the recording of the band that everybody was going nuts for last time. We're also, I got a request. We are also playing a song opening up the episode before they come on. And I'm talking about the Engineered Society Project. That's right, guys. They're in the back. They're waiting it on. It's going to be some time to rock on. We got Chris Keys and Timothy Moss, and they will be on really soon. But first, guys, we got to talk about the ones that pay the bills. First and foremost, I got to tell the ones it is Friday. You got a little bit of energy, but right now I'm all wired up because I have that W energy inside of me. That's right, guys. Jitterless energy, cheaper than a can. Throw away the coffee and get you some W. You got Push and Punch energy drink. You got Beach and Peach. You got the Peach and Rings. You've got so many different objects. You got Big Energy. That one's pretty interesting. The Galaxy Grenade. That one's actually very, very tasteful, I will say. And of course, guys, you have, if you are afraid to buy a full tub, you can get the sample pack, and it will include a shaker cup. That's right, guys. All you got to do is go to Buzz20 with the promo code, and you get that 10% off. Obviously, with the holidays coming up, that's a pretty awesome, cool little Christmas gift. But there's even a better Christmas gift. You know what that is? And man, let me tell you, it's got to be off my Bonfire shop. Bonfire/Buzzing with Marlo. Go in there, get you a hat, get you a hoodie, get you a tank top, get you a V-neck long sleeve. It is winter time. Even though I'm in Florida, I can still rock a long sleeve. But hoodie season, it is here, ladies and gentlemen. Hoodie season, beanies, all that. Go to Buzzing with Marlo go Bonfire/Buzzing with Marlo. Go in there, get your merch. Get your merch. Most importantly, guys, you can get all these cool customizing ones, and even including the new season 5 logo on the shirts. And of course, guys, people been asking, we also have a store for the American Project sides as merch. Put in the promo code BUZZ20 and you get 10% off of your purchase. I think that's an awesome holiday gift as well. And of course, guys, you have so many options on colors on the shirts. We have so many different things. As you see that white hoodie, it's very, very comfortable. You can get you one as well. Make sure you type in BUZZ20 on the promo code and you get 10% off of your purchase. The holidays is near. It's time to go. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time. I think it's time for the episode. We're not going to waste any more time. So, guys, but first, we are going to play this song I'm excited for. I never got to see the music video, so it's going to be my first time seeing the music video with y'all as well. And that is the song called Fly on the Wall. That's right, guys. Great song. If you've heard any of my reels recently, I play this song very, very often. My TV, I play that one as well. And of course, I Stand for Peace. That one I really like. That one's really good. So guys, we're not going to waste any more time. Guys, you are about to listen to Engineer Society Project. And guys, that starts in 3, 2, 1, right now.
Everybody debates what power is, don't they? Everybody wonders what the hour is. I heard the prophecy, the bell struck 5. Now it's time. Digital soldiers, come alive.
The fire on the wall sees the way that we fall. We must rise and not just survive. The fly on the wall sees the way that we fall. We must rise.
Everybody wonders about me and my crew. About what our plan is and what we plan to do. Well, I'll tell you this is the hour. Everything I talk about is just simple power.
The fly on the wall sees the way that we fall. We must rise and not just survive. The fly on the wall sees the way that we fall. We must rise. Power! Because we have the power. 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 We have the power.
That's what happens. You get knocked down. But it doesn't matter how many times. We pick ourselves up and look. Stop comparing yourself. This is it. Seize this moment. Think big. The past is gone. The future hasn't happened yet.
We have the power. 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 We have the power.
With the band, they're back. It's gonna be an awesome chat. We got Chris Keys and we got Timothy Moss, and we might have some extras. Who knows? Who knows? But guys, I've got the Engineered Society Project here live in the building of the Buzzing with Marlo studio. How y'all doing, fellas?
Awesome.
Good.
Hey man, I tell y'all right now, the last episode we did, I thought was super fun, and I couldn't wait to actually have this chat with y'all after y'all got back from overseas. Obviously, y'all been back for about 2 weeks now, but like that had to have been like some thrills, man. I was looking at the pictures that Chris was putting. I saw the videos that he was posting on social media, just all around the things, man. So who wants to go first? You know, taking that trip, y'all's first time going out there performing, like. How was that feeling?
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, you want me to go? Okay. I thought it was really cool, man. It was definitely really people took us in. It was awesome. I saw some things I want to tell the USA about, which I'm interested in. And we had a camera with us the whole time we were there, so we're basically gonna be able to show people compared to just talking about it pretty soon. Is that the 25th that's coming out, Tim?
I think so. I've got to check with the record company, but I think they're going to release it on the 25th.
So we have a Euro Tour 2023 with Laura Bishop rockumentary coming out. And basically, So we're going to tell everybody about what happened, but they're going to actually be able to see some of the stuff that went down. Really, really hospitable. You know, the thing you can say about the clubs that is different in the USA is the hospitality. And a couple times we showed up, I was led right to a shower. You know, I had my own shower. I had a little room I could hang out with. I saw my poster all throughout the club. You know, you got a really nice sound check. You basically got, the hospitality was tremendous. And as we touched down back in the United States, one of my friends, his name is Jeff Jones. He couldn't stop in tonight. He's a movie producer. He actually did a documentary about my old band, Dive Bomber. And now he's interested in doing a rockumentary about Engineered Society projects. And when I was talking with him about it, the big thing is touching down here, and we had an experience overseas, and we're really going to try to carry that over here. We want to be setting up some things here that have that same interest, you know, in bands that do original music, you know, and try to develop that here. And we went to Poland, we went to Germany, we went to the Netherlands, we went to Switzerland. The girls are beautiful in Poland. Germany looks like something's about to go down in Germany. Around where I was, every inch of every wall was covered with graffiti, and it was F the Nazis, F the police, Antifa, fascist. But I've been in the Bronx a lot in New York, and when you go to a neighborhood like that, you see graffiti everywhere. You think you might get jumped. You think it might be trouble, but that's not really what it was there. There was no trouble. There was no things. It was just graffiti everywhere. So I don't know if they're about to go through some kind of something, but that definitely was one thing I observed. And when we do reveal the rockumentary, like we're thinking November 25th, I want to answer it. You know, I want to show the USA what happens in Europe, and then I want to show Europe what happens in the United States.
Hey, I like that. That's really cool. You know, Chris, one thing I do want to say, like when I first saw your videos and stuff, I love when y'all first landed. The first restaurant that y'all went to was McDonald's. I thought that was pretty funny. So how different is the McDonald's, you know, overseas than it is out here?
The blatant thing that I saw and actually mentioned it is they actually changed the logo. Basically,
Okay.
You know, McDonald's, ever since I've known, has been red and yellow. The yellow arches with a red sign. And in Europe, it's yellow arches with either a black or a green sign. And I actually noticed, because I was just wondering why that was, because McDonald's has to be one of the most known franchises in the world. And I don't know why they would change the logo. I think I actually asked Tim about it. Tim, were you the guy that said it was something that would be good for the franchise? I can't remember if I asked you.
No, I just remember the food kind of tasted the same. It was really typical McDonald's for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Everybody keeps saying it like tastes so different compared to like the ones you get out here.
I must have been real hungry because it tasted just fine. I normally don't eat at McDonald's.
Y'all sound like me though. I love how y'all went overseas. Like, you know, no lie. I remember when I went on my honeymoon and we went to Jamaica. The funniest thing, you know, you would want, you know, the barbecue or something different over there, right? Nah, I went to Quiznos, even though it was the most expensive Quiznos I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
But it was just something I'm used to, and I was like, oh, you know, it tastes a little bit better. I mean, maybe I was just hungry. It tastes like a regular sub, but everybody gave me so much crap. They're like, dude, you went to Jamaica and ate Quiznos out of all food. I was like, I wanted a sub, I guess. But
Yeah.
Timothy, man,
They made us a lot of food, man. It was like basically I got made fun of one time because I ordered. There is a communication difference. I wouldn't say it's a barrier, but they don't really speak English there. So we're in this one place I believe it was the second to last show. Where was that? I think it was Germany, and they asked me what I wanted, and I tried to say the thing on the thing, and when they brought it in, it was for 20 people. It was this huge amount of food, and I was like, oh my God, that was a communication. I didn't want a 20 serving thing, man. So it was like literally was like this house, like a huge pile of.
They thought you were doing a food challenge.
Yeah. It was that man versus food, man.
I love it. So Timothy, what was your experiences like, man?
Well, it was interesting for me because I had been in Europe before, not playing, and I've been in several countries all over the world. And, Germany, they were all cool and they were laid back, like I'd mentioned. The food, I live in Houston, Texas, and you don't have to look far to find great restaurants. That's been my problem. But the food over there is different and cheap. We didn't go to the 5-star restaurants, thank God, but it was just different, and I enjoyed the difference. But I was glad to get home and go to Truluck's and eat stone crab here. One place we did go that I really enjoyed was when we were in Poland at Turin, Poland. I'm not sure how you say it, but that was where like the best gingerbread in the world is supposed to be. And we went and bought some, and it was really, really good. And so, throughout the tour, a lot of the venues provided meals and stuff, before the show. They usually would have, some type of room that had like a banquet table and things like that, which was really cool. And it was interesting food and a lot of variety. And we just enjoyed all that. And the camaraderie of hanging out with everybody, getting to hang out with Lord Bishop and his guys and Chris and us. And it was just really great. We had a blast. It was a great time.
Hey, man, I like that.
Rockumentary is that we, instead of, I want to change some stuff around here. I really would like to invite some of the clubs that we play to like take a look at, even take a look at rock and roll. It's like literally appreciating new artists, and let's get it in together instead of just sort of cookie cutter. I mean, if you can take a look at a band and see they have something good to deliver, I think it should be like more of the experience we had in Europe. And that'll be something I want to mention with Jeff Jones when we start filming. We're going to start filming at the Whiskey A Go-Go. We're playing the Whiskey A Go-Go with Great White December 27th. And from there on in, I want to start, Jeff to start collecting sort of the footage to just sort of have a rockumentary for the USA as we have a rockumentary for Europe.
Hey, man, that's cool. That's really cool. One thing I always, coming from a college background and stuff like that, if you wanted to go play basketball, if you didn't make the NBA or whatever, you had time to go overseas, and they treated you like you were a daggone NBA player. What was that feeling like? Obviously, them telling you, hey, I'm on this group. We have CDs. You could YouTube us, stuff like that. Like, what was that feeling with the audiences there? Like, did they treat y'all literally like y'all like the #1 rock stars out there? Like, how was that feel?
Awesome. I'll tell you, it was. We were treated very well. And it makes me want to, we'll be going back to Europe or Spain or somewhere in 2024. I promise you, because we had such a great time there. I think we've seen in my career, I've seen a change in the clubs in the U.S. and they could be well advised to take kind of a lesson from the clubs in Europe. Now, I will say this, clubs like the Whiskey, first-class operations, we play there a lot. Those guys are the best in the business, no issues whatsoever. But a lot of the clubs that we talk to from time to time, they're stuck in the rut of either doing tribute bands or 6-band bandoramas. And, their biggest concern is that you only play 45 minutes, don't play 46. Whereas over in Europe, the club owners and the people are really interested in original music. And they crave to hear something new and original as opposed to something old, though it may be good, being played by somebody that's, doing those kind of things. we had a blast and we had a great reception. I mean, there was nights where people were standing in front of the stage and it was sold out, packed. Couple of the clubs weren't sold out or packed, but they were pretty, I mean, it was in small towns in the middle of nowhere sometimes. But it was great crowds who really liked what we did. And I'm not saying it just because they liked what we did. You could tell they were genuinely interested in an original act from the U.S. to hear something that they knew they had never heard before. And it was really cool. We enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I loved how y'all are talking about like the differences between what crowds. And that's something that I talk about vaguely, you know, just sports in general. Going to an overseas audience, they don't get to see this so many times. So when they get that opportunity, they're going balls to the wall to these things. Like you're going to look at this thing and go, oh my gosh, when is the next date for this? Because I have not felt like this in so long. Because I feel like, you know, with our U.S. audience, not shooting on it, like, you know, we like what we like. And sometimes it's hard to make that change to like something that you're not accustomed to or whatever. But when you go overseas and stuff like that, they react to it so differently because, like you just said, they don't care who's singing it. They don't care what's doing, but they love the feel of it. They love the whole camaraderie of it. And it's in their vision. It's not like they have to go on YouTube or anything like that. It's literally front center to them right there. So they're going to appreciate it. They're going to pay their hard-earned money to go out there and see this show and stuff like that. And they really make your money's worth when they're at these shows. And I love the fact that when y'all talk about those things, because we don't take that as a consideration, like football audiences and stuff like that. We take a lot of things for granted. And I think that's one thing is because we get so much of it. It's like when it's here, we buy the tickets, but in a way, you don't see the same reaction for that ticket sales that you get because they've already seen it. And it's just something for them to do. And it's like, for some weird reason, it's not cool to react in ways at times. So it's like when you get that overseas audience, it's like the loudest thing you've heard in so long. So I love how when y'all talk about that stuff and all that. So what was the best area that y'all were at from the whole overseas tour? Like, what is the one spot you will never forget when it comes to that tour?
I would say Poland. I think Poland. Happening, and it was just what you just talked about. It's like the reaction and the relation, and it's so funny that mainly my interaction with people was not in English. It was more like, I don't know if it was sign language. It was like we had this thing in common, music, and basically because a lot of people I communicated with had very limited English that they understood or could do. And that's even made it more beautiful because these people were standing here. They almost like don't understand what I'm saying. They just like what I do. And that was phenomenal, man. You know, and basically you can come back to a place where people know exactly what you're saying and they're just cookie cuttering it, tribute or cover bands or whatever. And yeah, my say would be Poland.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Timothy, what you got?
Well, I believe, just like Chris, Torun was a special place for us in Poland. And a lot of it was because they had a lot of media people there, a lot of photographers. And it just wasn't something we were expecting. And it was just off the hook. And like Chris says, a lot of the people didn't speak English. Some did, but they liked what we were doing. And you could tell that the music transcended the language barriers. And everybody just had a real good time, and it made the performance really cool. And, you know, that's something that over here sometimes you play some of these shows, and a lot of the people, you know, they go to these clubs, and it's like it's almost not cool to dig the band. And so we try to steer clear of those places. And so that means we're going to play a lot less. We don't even play locally here because we're not known locally. We don't play locally, and we're not going to do a lot of stuff here. We're going to play the West Coast, the East Coast. We're talking to some folks in Nashville in the Midwest. We'll go to Milwaukee, and then we'll go back overseas until we reach a point where the saturation of the brand is such that we draw more people. But it was just a great experience. So great that we're already in discussions of going back.
We had a good ambassador too. I actually know there was a band called Total Sexual Freedom in New York when this was a while ago, and I knew the singer, and they were known around my way, around my circle. And Total Sexual Freedom, for this guy Bishop, turned into Lord Bishop Rock, and that's the band we toured around Europe with. And he really, I definitely recommend. I think Lord Bishop is a great performer. I think Lord Bishop Rocks is a great band, but at the same time, he put together sort of all the things for us, and he did it really good. He actually had everything set up for us. He just basically led us all around. He was our ambassador, and I definitely sent some props out to one, Lord Bishop. Then we had the Countess, who was our driver, and then we had the drummer, Duda the Bricklayer, and then we had the bass player for Lord Bishop Rocks, Jesus, and just great people, and made it a really fun time. Because if you're we're in a van in small quarters, if you're in there with not really hospitable people, you'd really know at that point in the game. If you're like in those types of quarters and someone's, just not, I'm not going to say cool, but it's just not fun or whatever, that would suck, man. We had a good time. We blasted tunes. We were like,
I performed in front of some crowds like that.
Everybody's that was awesome, man.
Oh man, I've had my fair shares with those. Trust me.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like, there was the show that you posted the video of. We had the loudest pop for that moment, and then the next match, like, you wouldn't even know that we even performed before them because it was just like so dead quiet. And I was just like, there's no way we got them to their exact loudest in the opening of the show to where they were just dead quiet the second match.
I want to tell my people what Warren is talking about. Warren doesn't only do his podcast, he's also a professional wrestler, and I want to know what your wrestling name is.
American Prodigy.
Well, tell. We're going to interview you for a second. Tell us a little bit about this pro wrestling gig.
Hey man, it's just been something I came up with. Obviously, with stuff that happened in life, I got into try pro wrestling. Like I said, try. That was just a example to try and say, hey, I did it. And then I got more hooked onto it. I always had a trouble stop smiling after getting beaten up for some weird reason. So literally, they were like, hey, put on a mask and let's see what can go with that. And literally, I've been wearing a mask since day one. And it's been really cool. Seeing the differences from my character to when you see me, it's like a whole differential thing, except I'm just a lot louder with that character. And I would probably say more patriotic because I'm literally head to toe a flag. So
what's your wrestling name?
American Prodigy.
Oh, American Prodigy. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That character right there.
The American Prodigy. Dude, you have an action figure?
Yeah. My buddy made me one, so
nice.
So yeah, he made a couple of those, and they look really nice on the merch table. That's for sure.
Pro wrestling brings up one thing for me. We have a brand new song we haven't released, and called "The Undertaker," and it's nothing to do with the Undertaker. It's about something else, and it's just the name of the song. But I literally would like to get Mark Calloway to be in our music video. When I first realized that his name was it, and I've never really been someone recently who's followed wrestling. I followed wrestling when I was really little, but I watched a documentary on that dude, The Undertaker, and to me, he's one of the best I've ever seen.
He's a really awesome dude, man. Really awesome dude. He actually lives in the area where Timothy lives, if I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he lives in Houston, Texas. He lives in Texas, yeah.
So
we'll run him down. We ought to. that song is in California being remixed and everything, and it'll be ready sometime this week. We'll run over.
Dude, I gotta get Mark Calloway. Imagine that, dude. If Mark Calloway would just do a little cameo, man, that would be crazy.
That'd be dope. That'd be really dope, for real.
Yeah,
Really,
we'll find him.
We make everybody aware of some of our videos. I'm actually gonna repost them. I'm gonna repost them on our Street Team page, just because I think some of the people in Europe haven't seen our music videos. We have our brand new EP out, which is right now. It's called My TV, and we have 4 music videos. And because we just did this stint in Europe, not just, but they haven't seen some of the things we do, some of our work. And I think some of our videos have really come out good. Our most recent one was called Fly on the Wall. We have that posted, but we got brand new music coming out, and we're working.
Y'all got the music video for Fly on the Wall now? Y'all got the music video?
Yeah, it's
I only saw the song. I haven't seen the music video. I've been wanting
like
to see that one.
Sweet Home type of video. It's sort of like pictures of us playing different places. It's almost like a scrapbook, Home Sweet Home type of music video. Came out really good. Done by my friend Bob. I just brain farted his last name, but his company is called OFNR. That was a radio station he used to run, and he really put Bob Marino put together a really nice music video for Fly on the Wall. We really appreciate, and he's been someone who's been in my corner, and I'm actually going to be able to introduce him to my band, because he's definitely going to be at the show. We're going to do a big show back east at a place called Toad's Place, and Bob Marino, who edited our video, will be there, and the band will get to meet the guy that did us this great favor.
Check it out.
Yeah.
And let's see, Chris, we're going to be in New Haven, Connecticut. Is that January the 13th for the Opus birthday bash?
And that's really the big thing about that is that's Christian Lawrence, aka Opus's birthday Blizzard Bash, and it's a big annual thing he does. And Christian Lawrence, he's the head of our label. He's the head of Mind Snap Music / Combat Records, and this is his show he puts together, and he's actually doing a revival for his band. He has a band called Dead by Wednesday, which has an amazing singer, Esteban, but he's actually had a bunch of different people in his band, and at this show he's going to have all the people who have been in Dead by Wednesday throughout the years. And some of the great people, Pat was his first guitar player. Pat was actually the first guitar player for Gargantua Soul. He wrote like 12 songs with me in Opus. So really, I'm going to be seeing a lot of my friends who I haven't seen in so long. I'm really excited to go there and do this show. And me and Opus were in a band together, so he's like my brother. And his label, Mind Snap Music / Combat Records, gets distribution through a company called Von Artists, and the leader of that, his name is Larry Touring. He was going to stop through. I'm not sure what happened, but at some point, I'd love for people to meet, when we do these podcasts, to meet some of the people who are, working for us behind the scenes and that are helping us get our music out there.
Hey, man, that's one thing we all worry about. Promote, and get that network wider. So yeah. I do got to know. So out of all the cool places that y'all have been traveling recently, what was the #1 song that everyone just could not get enough of? What was that one song overseas that they just literally could not get enough of?
Well, I would say one of the songs that people appreciate, because it's sort of different than what we usually do, is a song called Fade Away. And it's a special song to Tim. It's about his family, and people like that song. And I think the title track off our CD does well. It's called My TV. Fly on the Wall. Fly on the Wall is actually a good crowd receiver. Fly on the Wall.
That was y'all's new song before y'all went on to Germany too, if I remember. That was the new song that y'all were about to debut.
No, we actually wrote a song for Germany called Deutschland, which we will be recording in Redondo Beach at Wynn Davis's Total Access studio. We have a called Deutschland, and It was funny though, when we got there, our ambassador recommended we be careful about saying Deutschland because Poland doesn't like Germany. You know, there's all these sort of like, we
Right. Yeah.
we were able to hear about the inside scoop, and literally it could have been not a good thing if we went to Poland and went Deutsch land. So what did we say, Tim? I forgot. I actually changed the word. I said Poland. I went Poland.
He said Poland.
I can't wait for Chris to bust
Poland
out.
land.
We'll get
That'd be a new song, Deutschland versus Poland.
Yeah.
Man. Yo, listen, I gotta stress to you, American Prodigy. When you're in Germany, I walked down the street and there will be a sticker that says, "This is Antifa territory." Right next to it will be F the police. Right next to that will be F the Nazis. Then one little bit over will be Nazi Supreme. Like there's all these conflicting things going that on the walls you're reading that's going on. I couldn't see any of that live. Like nothing, no riots, no like inappropriate people. I didn't see them, but the graffiti is like talking.
It's spoken enough right there. Yeah.
I think the kids like to color on the walls at night. They don't have anything to do over there.
Yeah. Tim, did you see that though? That every inch, you know that street I'm talking about, right by our hotel,
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Was it nice graffiti at least? Like, was it good drawing type look?
Nope. It was
just sketches, just scribbles all over the wall.
It was messages. It was messages. The big one, the real big one, said F Nazis. You know, FUCK Nazis, and F the police. And basically everything you saw was a message. It was like, my group Antifa runs this area. My group, some fascist organization, runs this area. And then 2 feet down it'll say F Antifa. So basically they're conflicting their messages, man. It's not graffiti for the art of graffiti.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just a situation where they don't do anything to them when they catch them, so they have it everywhere. If they would cut one of them's hand off, and long for word to get out, they would stop doing that.
No hand losing here.
In Singapore, you won't see that in Singapore. Those folks, they know how to do it.
That's why I was like, when y'all were talking about graffiti, I said, "There's no way y'all were at Singapore," because that literally they would have been like almost at a death sentence for doing stuff like that. So like,
training goes a long way.
I mean, it's crazy. Like some of the stuff that you see, and like y'all just said, man, like the expression, like people are so much happier and nicer, and that just makes you just be like, man, are we in the right area? Like, what is this?
Sometimes you were there, and actually, some other member, both JoJo Brown, our guitar player, and
shout out to JoJo,
we're talking about, holy cow, this place is so cool. They're like, man, we should come here. We don't get this kind of like treatment back home. But that's really, I'll tell you the truth, man. If you want something, you have to establish it. And really, that's why I'm into, with my boy Jeff Jones, talking about this rockumentary and saying, look at, man, we want to create that hospitable, original music scene all around this country, and basically, reciprocate wherever we go. Because one place, you're talking about Singapore, our company, our distribution company with Larry Touring, Von Artists, has offices in Japan. So we've possibly have some potential shows in Japan. So really, being an international band and trying to create that sort of hospitable openness, connectedness, desire for original music internationally.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that's for any bands. Like, we talk wrestling, I'm thinking about Fozzy, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was so popular overseas than he was in the U.S. audience at first. About, just with the people treating you so differently, and just, it's more of a special feeling, because like we said, man, I think the U.S. audience, we've gotten so accustomed. I think honestly from COVID, I think we appreciate a little bit of stuff, and I think that's kind of deteriorated at the same time now because it was taken from us. You appreciated it more. Now it's like, oh, back to normal. We can go to an event. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. But it's like when you got that first feeling back, man, I guarantee you any performer or anybody, they literally was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is the best thing we listen to and stuff like that. But like I was saying with Chris Jericho, all these guys were not popular in the US audience when it comes to rock bands or music or anything like that. They relied on to the overseas audience, and then that builds them into that area. So question, did y'all have to sing in their language in certain areas for the music for them to understand, or were they just bopping in and going just from the rhythm of the song? Like, how was that?
So we wrote this song called Deutschland, and I literally wanted to say some things in German. I just actually couldn't do it, man. I got the German app, and I was sitting writing the song, and I was gonna try to say stuff in German. I just couldn't do it. Every other country is going to say the other language is complicated, but I think it seems German is it's not an easy language. It uses Z, and it uses like these die Z. I couldn't do it.
Is it like a strong voice, or is it like a tongue twister? Like, how is that?
I'm not worried about this. The how I wouldn't be able to pronounce it, and the words are not similar at all to English whatsoever. Literally,
it's not intuitive what you might think that they're saying. And I think it's worse in Switzerland and places like that. It's like, hell with it. I'm doing all I can do to speak English.
Two things. I learned dziękuję. Dziękuję means hello in Polish, and then good morgen. And I mean, good morgen is pretty damn close to good morning, but that's good morgen is good morning in Germany. And that's pretty bad for 2 weeks, man. I wish I could have learned a little bit more than that, man.
Hey,
well, you learned thank you,
man.
What was it?
Dankeschön, thank you.
Oh yeah, Dankeschön. There you go. I mean, some of those things I knew I had heard before.
Yeah,
definitely I heard.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the food. Everybody loves to talk about food when it comes to overseas. What was the number one dish that y'all got out there?
Well, speak for Tim. He kept on saying schnitzel. Was that it? You liked the schnitzel or something like that?
The Wiener schnitzel was really cool. It's like a sausage. Regular schnitzel is kind of like pounded out like a chicken breast and fried. I wasn't too good with that. But, ironically, one of the best meals I had was that Italian place in what city was it in Germany?
Germany.
Yeah, Dresden.
And
this
Italian.
Really good. We're sitting there having dinner, and there's a picture of it in a small video. All of a sudden, these guys come up, and they're like playing violins, kind of like on The Godfather. And we're just like, what the hell? So, but that was one of the coolest things. I mean, it was really good.
I'm just glad you didn't say McDonald's. I'm just glad you didn't say McDonald's.
Oh, no, it's
I've had some people who be like, hey, so what was better? Like, honestly, for what I knew that was dead, maybe the McDonald's. I don't know.
Hey, let me assure you, I see the invoices. This band eats very well for a touring act. They eat with it.
Hey, I love it. So what do you got, Chris?
What's that?
What was your favorite dish overseas?
My favorite dish, being a vegetarian, I would say, sadly enough, I had pizza, man. I mean, literally, Germany. I should have. It's just like speaking the language. I should have broken into German cuisine more, but I had pizza. And some people is pizza from Italy. I think that I had Italian in Germany. Oops.
Right. Like I said, man, I had Quiznos in Jamaica. I don't think you could even think of anybody wanting to eat a sub in Jamaica. So there's no judgment here. So how long have you been a vegetarian?
I've been a vegetarian for about I would say, at least 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, and really, I was a vegetarian before that. And when I was a vegetarian before that, it was more like I didn't want to mess with animals. It was like almost like more of a stand that I was making. And but now it's just I don't like meat anymore. I don't even know why. And I don't.
It's just a habit now. It's just literally
Yeah,
what you're used to.
I don't mind what other people eat. It's just that for some reason, meat grosses me out, man.
I'll tell you
why.
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Chris doesn't like meat because he hadn't had the Wagyu tomahawk steak at the Foundation Room in Houston yet. We had it the other night. It was really good.
Oh my God. Yo, the only steak I ever liked was steak.
Timothy's about to ruin your vegetarian streak right now.
No. The steak was the one I really didn't like because it took so long to chew it. There's only one kind of steak.
See, I'm so glad you said that because Timothy might judge me after this. I'm not big of a steak eater because of that same reason. It just feels like it takes forever for it to freaking chew. And I'm just like, it's good. It's cool taste, but it's like, why does it take like 9 different chews just for it to go down? Like,
got the right one. Y'all need to quit eating that cheap steak and bust out some of that Wagyu, man.
Yo, listen, guys, have you ever heard of Steakums? Steakums was this thing I had, and it was really, really thin steak. I actually didn't mind that. It was almost like a bologna steak. It was like that thin, like a sandwich meat. And literally that kind of steak was good when I did eat meat, but I could not take that thick chewing for a half hour, man. Every bite, it didn't like.
To take Timothy's advice, we just got to get the real. You got to get the real thing.
We
can't get that cheap stuff.
And order the Wagyu tomahawk. Don't worry about it being $150. Just play like it's not.
He said, just close your eyes and give him the card.
The only time
spoil yourself today. This is going to be a life changer.
The only time I envision myself eating meat is when the plane goes down and we crash. I'm starving. And then I look over at Tim and go, he doesn't look that bad. I mean, you know. We've
known each other really well. You know, hey, I'm hungry, man.
You're gonna barbecue me, I guess.
If I was starving, the plane goes down and I'm going to die. And then
sounds like Timothy's gonna be a real rich guy because he said it may cost $150. You just gotta close your eyes and give it away.
I'll be sure to carry one of them Wagyus in my back pocket when we're flying, just in case the plane goes down and feed Chris.
Treat him like a dog snack. I love it.
So
we're prepared.
I'm just basically give a little rundown of what our plans are for the next little while. We have the Whiskey A Go-Go, December 27th. About 2 weeks after that, we're playing Opus's birthday Blizzard Bash in New Haven, Connecticut at Toad's Place. And then in February, we're headed to Redondo Beach with Wynn Davis at All Access Studios to record our new CD. And then we walk back into the Whiskey A Go-Go and we play with King Cobra. And so really laying that down, I've been talking to Jeffrey Jones, and we're going to basically try to do a similar thing to what we did in Europe, is have a camera with us that follows it and just shows everybody what our world is like, and really what I'd like to do, because a lot of people mentioned to me when I was in Europe, they just saw that the Whiskey A Go-Go was such a landmark. I just want to reciprocate with the European documentary and show how it goes down in the U.S.
Hey man, I love that. So y'all did mention something about clubs. I do want to talk about that. So what was the biggest difference with the clubs overseas and what y'all would get in the U.S.?
Timmy?
Okay, well, I think it's real easy for us. The club owner had pride in the systems that he had. He wanted to accommodate the band to make sure that we could give the best show possible. and the staff was all just very helpful. So from the club owner perspective and the staff, they were just fantastic. And you know, we run into a lot of great staff and club owners in the US too, but you could tell in Europe that it's much more of what they do. And so, and then you also see that reflected in the clientele that comes there. They seem to be a little more engaged in original music.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Pretty much
The
it.
best show sort of that I experienced was, like I was saying, I showed up there. I got taken right to a room where I could get in a nice shower. I had my own room to chill out for a little bit. I walked down. We have a nice sound check, and then we meet some really nice people. We connect, sell some merch. It was just a very almost like family orientated thing. It was in this big building that was almost like a renovated house, and I just felt like I was taken care of, you know. And really, I know you can't expect that every time. I know you shouldn't. I mean, rock and roll is rock and roll, but I think just a little bit more like that would be cool.
You want to feel that way, and I love how y'all talk about that, because I just did a show last Saturday, and shout out to the Guardians of oh my gosh, Legacy of Guardians. It was over in Panama City Beach, Florida. It was a great time I had, and I love how y'all were talking about it. Like, I've never been to a promotion that treats the workers just as exceptional as they would treat the audience. Like, when you get to a promotional standpoint, like you get your little things, whatever, but it's like you don't have too much of a big expectation, because you already know, all right, the big moment is when I get in the ring, I do my thing, and I get the crowd. We're going to have a draw of a crowd. Like, they had pyro. They had all these cool things that made you feel like you were a big, sensational superstar. The one thing I thought was amazing was this man literally made us spin a wheel, and it popped on double pay. And literally, I look at my Cash App. That thing has already popped in my account. First thing and first. So I was like really cool with that. And then it was just like the way that he treated us. Like, we had our own rooms, we had our own food. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, you have a certain budget. Like, he just gave us like top-notch, good quality pizza or donuts or whatever, which I didn't eat until after the show, of course, you know, because you're in tights and stuff. You don't want to wear that. But it's like, it was just a really cool feeling. Like, you felt so much more special than being treated like that, and it makes you want to perform so more exceptional, because obviously they're like, hey, they're doing all this for me. I got to do my best for them. Like, that's something that I feel like any performer should really get that moments to feel, because I said it numerous times. I told that guy, I said, even if you need me to do just referee work or whatever, you let me know, because I loved what you did for the group here. And it was just like, and the funny thing is, usually when you do these shows, most of the times you leave after your match, everybody stayed the entire show, helped tear down everything. Knowing we had a 6-hour drive, we still didn't feel like it was a big issue to help them, you know, tear down and everything like that, because of how appreciated we felt. And that's the first time I've actually helped someone tear down in like 4 years of my wrestling career. So that's a big deal for me. So I just thought it was really cool just how we got treated and how special it felt. And of course, I got a highlight tape where I'm coming out with pyro now. Like that you don't get these feelings. Like, it's so cool just to see what happens when somebody actually cares about the performers and stuff. And it's a really cool feeling. Really cool feeling.
We want to see that on why don't you post that on our Street Team page?
I'm waiting for him to send me that video so I can definitely have it, because trust me, that thing's going to be everywhere when I get that thing.
Got the link. Did you see the
So guys, is there anything y'all want to finish up on? Shout outs and stuff? Chris, I'm looking forward to that t-shirt that's going to be popping in. Trust me, I'm going to wear it, and I'm going to tag y'all into it and everything, man. I'm looking so forward to that. Y'all do amazing work. I love y'all's songs. Ever since I've been knowing y'all and listening to music, that's probably one of the number one songs I always put on my podcast videos now. If y'all haven't seen, I put Fly on the Wall on like 3 or 4 of the reels. I do love the I Stand for Peace. That one I really do like. If I ever turn bad guy, that will probably be the entrance song for American Pride. just that rhythm, that feel of it. I've been thinking about. I'm like, man, that would be a pretty cool song to come out too.
Well, the big thing to go from this podcast is to, we're doing podcasts all the time, and www.facebook.com/Engineered Society Rocks. Please, everybody, keep in touch with us, and the American Prodigy. You got to I want to see some of your videos on our
Yeah,
page.
man, I'm super happy just with everything that's going on right now. I'm really excited about what y'all got going on. I really hope that builds more of a network for y'all too, because guys, man, y'all have got some phenomenal talent, good freaking music, and it's not like the basic ones that I think y'all understand what I'm saying. It's not like those basic ones that you already can assume it's just like, oh, it's just a remake of something, whatever. Y'all are very organically making newer stuff each and every time. And that's something I really do respect for y'all, because
Thank you very much.
a lot of people don't do that. Like most of them, if you look back at it, and I have great bands when I talk about it, but when I listen to one song, I realized they remade Billie Jean. And I was just like, hold on, I didn't think about that until now. Like, I used to be a big Alien Ant Farm, and then I see that they made one of freaking Billie Jean. I'm like, that didn't sound that way. And then I listened to it, I'm like, oh, that's spot on. They just changed the music form of it. So it's really good and valuable to know that that's something that people can depend on y'all. It's like, oh, I want something fresh and new. They can definitely tune into y'all's product because they know there's not been a reused song mostly in y'all's group and stuff like that, because y'all really come in there. And not only that, y'all speak messages. And that's something I do love about music. It can show an expression, it can do feeling, but y'all speak messages that people do need to take acknowledge and really consider and be like, hey, they spoke volumes on that song. Like the Project TV, man, that one of My TV, that was a very big message of, hey, this is what we're getting. This is basically killing you because of what you're just succumbing to watching TV all the time. You're not living. You're not educating yourself. You're not researching these things that are going on. You're just believing what's on this TV, and that's all y'all see. And that's what's killing your mind, because all you're doing, you're pushing your focus onto a TV, and you're not expressing and controlling your own way. And that's something I love when y'all talk about My TV, because when I watched that video, and I wouldn't go lie, like I didn't expect the part where they were bringing the knives and stuff like that. But it was so valuable because it speaks on so many things that go on in this world. And it's just a beautiful message that y'all brought out to it. I wouldn't even be ashamed to let my kids listen to y'all or watch that video, because it's a reality thing, because so many things that could be used for that TV remark, and there could be a big change if we really just made those little changes. Like, hey, maybe that TV says that. Maybe let me go online and look and see if it's really true what this is saying. Like, you have so many of these things. We don't just need to rely on one source. And that's something I loved about y'all's music, because, like I said, y'all put a very good message out. And I gonna lie, Chris, come out with them sunglasses and stuff, man. You look like $1 million over there, and you just could tell, like, you feel that song, and people can really just think away and literally just follow the rhythm of what you bring into that music, man. So
I think
what
you just said, and I'm going to say this for the American Prodigy, is basically exactly what I want. I really don't want to. We got together as a band and we wrote music, and we did it. We brought all our talents to the table. We wrote it, but having someone else interpret it, I think, is the epitome for a musician. Because I don't want to sit here and tell you what I'm talking about. I want you to be affected by my music and tell me what it means to you compared to me explaining it. Like when people like ask me to explain, I really prefer not to. I'd rather someone do what you just did. If it means something to you, what does it mean to you? Like people who make music and I listen to it, it probably means something different to me than it does to other people. And once you, as an artist, you create something, I'm putting it out there and it actually is for you. So I really appreciate what you thought about my song. And I really, even for anyone else who wants to know what my music is about, I'd rather you just listen and you make your own meaning of it, what it means to you. I've sat here and I've read it. Me and Tim, Jojo, and Sean got together and wrote this. Now we're giving it to you, and we much rather hear what you're feeling than us trying to tell you what you're feeling.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. What you got, Timothy? Got anything last you want to follow up on, bro?
No, we're good. We'll leave it where it is, and I got your message there. Okay, so you're in Florida. Interesting. Okay, yeah. We'll get that T-shirt to you, and we're good. We'll get back with you in a few weeks and let you know how things are going.
Hey, man, I love it, guys. As I said, always, y'all can follow the links below. Check them out on Spotify, all audio platforms. Check them on YouTube. If you want to watch the music videos, get them on Facebook. You can follow them on there. Guys, if you need to, individually message me. I'll send you all their things, their website, all that stuff, man. Check them out. They are a great band, man. They are killing it. They have just risen from overseas 2 weeks ago, and they are already playing on that tour going on again. So, guys, thank y'all for watching Buzzing with Marlo. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see y'all later down the road. See y'all later.
Thank you.